Gather, veterans. It's time to join the fight. The long war begins.
This is The Long War. I'm Robbie B, and joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher, Stephen Ford, and 40K Champ Sean Nayden. What's up, guys?
Yo, dog, great to be here. I love lamps.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Hey, everybody.
So we took last week off, but we're back. We got Orks. We got I don't know, lots of stuff to talk about.
A lot of things have happened since we've been on the airwaves.
I saw these two beautiful individuals on the internet over the weekend. What were y'all doing?
Dude, we were on the internet and in the same room as you multiple times.
It's true, but they don't know that.
We streamed a game. Sean now has a placard. We actually played pants off, dice off. So above Sean's trophy that he got this year at ETC, he now has my pants that I wore during our legendary throwdown game on Saturday night. That is obviously the biggest trophy ever in the history of ever, is taking another man's pants. So there it is, Sean, the pants lord.
I pants to you.
I was going to ask, you guys were shirts versus skins or just skins versus skins?
So, don't even know how to answer that question. I thought I could come up with something.
You opened your mouth when you were going to come out with something epic and didn't.
Yeah, and I failed.
Jack and Classic, he beat the pants off of you.
There it is. No, that's what happens when you get vexed. I got vexed right there. So, but no, we had an amazing weekend. It was great. We did some battle report, liveness action. Then we did a big announcement. The ETC Team USA, if anybody didn't know, I am now the co-captain. So that's amazing. Huge honor. Can't wait to see what all these goodinesses and everything else is going to bring. And Sean and I did something else with Patreon. We've got a bunch of videos coming up, a bunch of content we're going to talk about later. Great weekend. And it's not even done. We got more to come. So more live battle reports, potentially back-to-back weekends.
You heard it here.
I think we have one lined up 6 p.m. this Sunday.
Yeah, we have 6 p.m. East Coast time, live battle report, Long War crew involved. We're going to have, I think, Austin A-Dog casting with Boots on the Ground Dan from the Beats Lab in Southern Pines, with Juice and a player to be announced. What I can go ahead and spoil now is these hands are going to be manning an entire orc army. 2,000 points of orcs. A lot of the stuff we're going to touch on tonight. Some of the things that even other combos that we're going to be showing this game is to show you exactly all the cool shit that the teleporter, the boarding planks, the shooting combos, a lot of that. I'm going to try to shove as many things as I can into one army. Orc Showcase this weekend. Makes me happy to hear.
I'm pretty sure by army he meant his pants. But
so think about it like this: shirts versus skins, right? So Sean's not wearing a shirt, Juice is, and then Juice has to take his pants off at the end of the game. That's what's in my head right now.
Yeah, it's accurate. I was there. I pretty much saw it.
How many weeks in a row will Juice lose his pants, like before he has to go out and buy more pants?
Juice, I'm gonna need you to go and buy those breakaway pants that people used to wear. I think you still own those, actually.
Dude, no lie, those were one of my favorite things. I have a funny story one day I'll tell everybody about me trying to be cool as shit. 8th grade basketball, like rival school, coming out to We Ready. It's like the number one song that anybody ever came out to across the country. And epic fail. Went to go rip my breakaways off. These were the try-hard ripaways.
Did you trip yourself?
Y'all literally stumbled over. God bless, there was somebody in front of me. They caught me. The back of them caught me.
It's graceful.
So I'm gonna need you to get a whole bunch of those. So every time you lose a game on camera, you could just rip them off and hand them to your opponent.
That's a new thing that's happening. Beats Lab breakaways.
Beats Lab breakaways, but it'll be in the longswag.com on the longwar.net soon.
.nut.
Hey, you heard it here first. Get them while supplies last.
Rob, take us out of this hole we just dug ourselves into.
Well, apparently we have new apparel and merchandise coming to the Long War swag store, longwarswag.net, not .net. This week coming out is actually some exciting releases. No matter who you are, you could probably benefit or might be interested in some of the stuff coming out. So GW has listened to everyone and expanded their offerings of the paint handle. So, Kenny, I can't stop looking at your lamp now.
I apologize. I just had to look at this lamp. Continue, please.
I heard the click and I immediately looked over and there was a lamp. It
wasn't even my pen.
Yeah, it wasn't. Now I'm gonna look. Now I've clicked you off. I can no longer see. So they have expanded their lineup of paint handles, and they've come out with two exciting new products this week. The Paint Handle XL for, it looks like everything over 40 millimeters, but under, I think it's 80. I want to say it's under 80. So you can do 80 mil rounds. You can do the 60 ovals like Call, and 50 mils. You can get those on the XL. It looks to be the same bottom handle, but it's just a different top. I haven't gotten my hot little hands to find out quite yet. And then, of course, they have the Doc Ock little handle too. I think that one's $17.50. Let's see, the one with the grabber claws. So if you're doing stuff like anything with armor plates or maybe working some assemblies, but you're just kind of waiting for the glue to set, you could use the little alligator clips to kind of hold things in place. Again, haven't got my hands on that, so I'm not sure how good it's going to be. So the XL is $12.50 and the assembly handle is $18.
So I'm not an expert when it comes to modeling and painting. You know, I know you guys think I am and stuff, and like I talk a good game, but real talk, are those necessary? Is there?
I thought that was a joke. I thought that was an internet joke.
Yeah, like I'm sitting there, I'm like, what twisted, Transformers reject is this thing?
Wait, this isn't a joke?
I thought it was a joke picture.
So,
I thought it was somebody with like Photoshop.
Yeah, no, I have. So this is the original paint handle for. I don't know if you guys, of course, at home are not going to be able to see this, but this is the original paint handle.
He's holding a black dildo, is what he's holding.
Yeah, I mean,
anal plug.
That is.
There's a certain similarities.
I'm going to say black dildo, the exact dimensions of my penis.
Well, I don't want to say I've seen it in movies. Maybe movies is too big of a word. Maybe features. I've seen it in some features, and yeah, it looks like something, but it does help to, keep a good grip on your miniature.
No, I'm with that.
Like that's not what I'm confused. I'm talking about the one with the little grabby arms.
The claws.
I thought the grabbies.
That's where I'm at. Like, is this necessary? Do we need these arms? Like when people are actually holding the upside down ring pop, is it like, have you ever thought to yourself like, damn, I wish my ring pop had a claw on it that could hold this guy's bolter? Is this a real thing? Like, is there a market for this?
I could see. So I like to paint in sub-assemblies. So I'll have the different armor plates off of.
Wait, are we just talking about alligator clip?
Yeah, they're alligator clips.
Oh, those are handy for sure. Those are
they are.
You can buy them from Michael's. Literally, you don't need to buy the $175 GW ones.
Look, hey, check it out right here. Right. So I know you can't see this on the podcast, but I have in my hand two bamboo skewers that terminate in the ends.
I want to rescind my previous assessment of penis size. These are the exact dimensions, girth-wise, of my unit.
So what you can't see at home is these are about 4 inches long. And at the end, they have an alligator clip at the end. But the cool thing about alligator clips is you don't have to necessarily use the clip itself. There's little poster tack in these, and they're holding a shoulder pad for a Contemptor, or two shoulder pads each for Contemptor Dreadnought. So you don't necessarily have to mar up the surface. You can put poster tack or double-sided tape or something like that on them. They're they're good for painting stuff off to the side, or you could use them to hold pieces onto the model that you're just trying to get fit. You ever had that, like, two pieces you're like trying to attach and you just can't get it there? And if you had an extra hand, you
are slinging me so much sexual innuendo. Like, I can't even.
Dude, I want to say
I can't even go on this anymore.
One of the best comments that I've read in a while, referring to the paint knobs. James came in and said, "Aren't those free with any $25 purchase from Adam and Eve?"
Where have we gone?
That's good, clean, family, fun humor right there, ladies and gentlemen.
I had about when he said you just couldn't jam them together, and then sometimes you just need a hand. And I was like, that's my life, dog. I was like,
can we just go back to talking about poop?
We can. We've done a lot of penis talk this time, so I'll just end with this. I assure you guys, it may be short, but it sure is skinny.
So, also coming out this week is another. Are you ready for it? Wait for it, Juice. If you asked, "What in the F do you use these handles for?" I want to hear a what in the F from you about this. Another. You wait for it. $8 paint pot.
$8 paint pot.
$8 paint pot.
No, does it have paint in it?
No. You put the paint.
That was my first question. I was like, wait, $8 GW paint, double size? Oh, that's so much paint. Wait, are you literally telling me is it an empty fucking container?
So now this actually skews the market, ladies and gentlemen. The paint is actually for free. When you buy a $7 paint pot, the plastic that holds the container is the $6.75. The product inside is not what GW cares about.
So the current paint pot that just came out recently with the XL handle last year was a remake of the paint pot that came out about 5 to 6 years earlier. It was actually copyright 2008. It came out 10 years earlier because it says 2008 on it. I'm holding it in my hands. This paint pot is approximately 3 inches tall and a diameter of, wait for it, 2 1/4 inches. It's slightly tapered at the top. Why am I doing this? I'm just softballing it in there.
I'm just sitting here. I'm looking around. I'm just like, okay.
Anybody else? Anybody? So
nobody's gonna go ahead.
This paint pot, I don't know. I haven't seen the dimensions on the new one. Apparently it does. Yes. Oh, God help me. Have ribbing on the inside.
Ribbon. Normally you got to pay extra for those.
I don't know. I don't know if it's.
So you pay extra for that ribbon?
I mean, sometimes you got to pay extra. Apparently,
they told me it was a birth defect when I had it.
So, anyways, that is also coming out this week. There was supposed to be a basing kit for $60 US. Apparently, that's been pushed back. Nobody knows what it is. Nobody's seen any pictures of it. It's literally missing. We don't know what's going on with it. And last but certainly not least is the new Space Marines Heroes. So people were complaining earlier, there's too many Primaris. These are the special 1 per blind box set. And there's odds on the front of the box where it's like you get 12 packs to the box.
Wait, 12. They're doing collectible 40K model boxes?
Yes.
Yeah, they rolled it out in like Japan last year.
Right? The crack, like I just can feel. Remember that one time we smoked crack? That one time, Juice? Like,
oh yeah,
IRL. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night just thinking about that day, and I just got that emotion from this.
Describe these boxes to me.
I have one right here. Hold on a second. So they're just a small 3 to 4 inch tall box that has it's a small 3 to 4 inch box that has a single Space Marine on sprue inside. You don't know which one it's going to be. They have like the pictures of the ones on the back. Now, the ones that came out in Japan last year, there was 12 of them. This set only has 9. One, I think the sergeant is duplicated, or you don't get the captain. Either way, the ones that don't come in this set are available in the Necron Lambeth kit that you can get from Barnes & Noble that Haspel showed that board game off recently. And then while we here in the States and the rest of the West get Space Marine 1 Series 1, now they're already on Space Marine Heroes Series 2 over in Japan, back in the East. So these are Terminators, and they don't have any icons or anything on it, although they're all painted red. They kind of look like blood angels, but these are actually pretty cool and very, posed very dynamically. The only problem is I haven't seen a Terminator or a Space Marine on a table in a very long time outside of Game of Horus Heresy, but they're really cool looking.
Kenny, excuse me, Rob, my brain just can't help thinking of business moves. Do these Terminators that are painted red, do they remind you of a Space Hulk Terminator at all? Are they posed that dynamic?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, okay, got it.
They're pretty dope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
there's a Thunderhammer duder, a Cyclone missile launcher duder.
It's like I said, this model, you applied this model to Titanicus. You released Titanicus in a blind booster.
Still nobody will play Titanicus.
Pre-built, pre-painted, just like X-Wing.
I won't play it now.
I would literally have all that. Like I would just be Titanicus all day. The crack is so real.
I was doing the unboxing video for Speed Freaks, right? And I was driving around that day. I don't remember what I was doing, but I had a lot of time. I like driving because it clears my mind and I get to actually think about things for 5 seconds, and that's when I'm most dangerous. But what I came up with, I was like, why the F are the prices so different on all these starter boxes from Games Workshop? And it finally dawned on me. I was like, looking at the prices and comparing and looking at how many they ordered. For instance, they ordered the Kill Team box. Games Workshop got roughly 9,000 4-pack cases. So I think it's like between 33 and 36,000 units the first run. Whereas Titanicus, they only got like 10,000, depending on how you do the math. And I didn't 100% do the math out. Games Workshop seems to value models based on how many models you need to play the game. So it doesn't matter if the multi-part, how many sprues, in some cases, how many sprues they come on. But we've all seen where you're like, this kit's 3 sprues and this kit's 3 sprues, but this kit here is $30 and this kit over here is $50. What the F gives? Well, I mean, that seems to be the only logical thing you can
Makes
say.
Sense. What GW is doing is they're saying all of our games should cost the same to play. Right? Except for Kill Team, I guess.
Initial investment, because with Titanicus, you realistically only need 5 models to build a maniple. But those 5 models, they're going to cost you the same as 1,000 points of 40K.
Yeah, literally. But they know that they can sprinkle in Kill Team because it is the epitome of crack. That is the gateway drug to all the rest of their universe.
Collectible Kill Team. I'm telling you, man. GW, do it.
Do it. Hey, it's only crazy if it doesn't work. If it works and they think they can sell it, they will definitely try. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, they're a business. They're trying to make a buck just like the rest of us, So, I mean, they're making good moves. They make some bad moves. Eventually, it equals out with the wash.
Honestly, I don't think GW put any of that. Everything you just said, I think, is nice and neat and tidy. But I'm like, they don't think this way.
A Night Titan is 1 million points and $1 million. I don't care if it's my size or any cat size. It's $1 million.
Well, that's pretty much all the new releases for this week coming out. Of course, going on pre-order this week will be Blackstone. Nope.
Damn it.
Ask me again in January. Will be Blackstone Fortress, which most part seems to be highly anticipated at $150 with lots and lots of models for lots and lots of different factions, including Chaos, which has some really good looking stuff in there. The game, I know I've said it in the past, people don't buy these boxes for the games, but this is actually a game. If it's based and plays the same way as Silver Tower did for Warhammer Quest when it came out, I want to say 2015. That game was good and it was super fun. If you could have at least 2 other people to play it with, you would have a blast playing this game. It's the ultimate.
I know people who played Silver Tower and really they enjoyed it, and they weren't 40K people. Alex Fennell and his wife and her friends, they would play it, and he would dungeon master it, and he said they would all have a great time. And
because that game concept is more like the board game element, right? Like almost like a Settlers of Catan or something, right?
It's more like a dungeon crawl, like a D&D.
Yeah, dungeon crawl, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can choose to kind of work together or
Not
work
Settlers,
against.
I'm sorry. What's that? Gosh, the other major game where you go around the board.
Talisman.
Talisman is the game I was thinking of, not the Settlers. Gotcha. Yeah, everybody loves a good dungeon crawl.
Oh yeah, it's a super fun game, and if Blackstone Fortress plays anything like it, I think it's going to be a hit, and I think people are going to play. They're already saying they got expansions lined up for it. I could easily see some of those miniatures in there going for $15 to $20 to $25 each. Renegade Guardsmen are obviously going to be in high demand because folks are just going to want to go ham and build Renegade Guard armies now, and just counts as, but it will still be funsies. So we'll see. I think it will do well. You'll see them at your local game store this week. Demo copies should be in hand. So definitely come by your local game store and check it out. Get a feel for the game and kind of and next week, I'm sure we'll talk about the 40K side of the rules for it as well, because maybe they'll have an impact, or maybe they'll have a kind of kill team. What was the one that came out? Rogue Trader. Kind of like, wait, what? It says what? Oh, nobody's going to play with that. 40K.
Cool Renegade models are always going to go over well.
I'll play those models as counts as. But let's do a quick second to promote the new Patreon page for these guys real quick, guys. We got Sean, we got Juice in here. New Patreon page, patreon.com/Battle Brother. Sean, tell us about it. I see you have all this new equipment in your Beats Lab.
Yeah, upgraded the Beats Lab. The gauntlet that let me beat Juice.
It is the one that holds all the gems.
All the gems. Yeah, so we're going to come at you guys with brand new tactics videos. We're really excited about unit spotlights we're doing and running them out about key units, the best units we think to play with, units we see at tournaments, along with some studio quality skill set videos. I'll be running one of those out there pretty soon. And we're also doing guerrilla skill videos where we're getting down and dirty in games that are happening live. If a contentious rule comes up or a key situation comes up, we're going to try and roll that out so you can see what happens when you're actually playing on the tabletop, and use those skills to improve your game.
Yeah, and one of the other cool things that we're going to be offering for people is that's pretty much all those are at a base level. And then if you go to the next level up, to become a Battle Brother, you get invited to a private Facebook group that is going to be dedicated for tactics, chats. We talk lists, we talk units, we talk live Q&A. Not just responding via email. We're setting up 1 to 2 days a week where we're going to sit down. Sean and I will get out there and answer questions one-on-one, or within the group itself. So, everybody can watch. So it's a lot of fun things, a lot of positive things moving forward.
I have a question for you guys. Do you have any plans on one of the things I get asked the most about, it seems like, is basics videos. And I'm sure Kenny does too. Like, hey, how do I prime my models? Like, I actually went back the other day and looked and how to prime your models. How to prime your model correctly, in my eyes, video has like a ridiculous amount. It's like one of my top 10 most viewed videos on YouTube. And I did it less than a year ago. So do you guys have plans for doing basics videos, like stuff like, here's what you need to know about playing ITC missions, or here's what to look at turn one before you even start the game, or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I want to break things down to the most basic level that not every player needs, but a lot of players need, and then build upon those. So one of the first videos I want to roll out very soon is how to trap a model in combat. And just what that looks like, the very simple model on each side of a model so it can't leave, so that people can see this is what it looks like. And then you build on top of that, like your whole series on maybe how to stop somebody from doing that. And, keep it like that, where every video can bleed into a couple other videos, but keep them nice and small so people can consume them on their lunch breaks or while they're driving or between like waiting for somebody.
They can do it if they're grown ups. They can drive and watch your videos.
I mean, absolutely.
I do. I like how you corrected yourself. You're like, I would never do that or say that.
I would never do that.
All right, that's what's up. I was asking for a friend. That's why I was asking.
Basics beginner video asking for a friend. Let's do a quick commercial break. We'll come back. We'll talk about these orcs because we do have these two battle brothers here in studio. They just covered a bunch of orc videos. I think they're primed to talk about perhaps how to win with orcs and how to lose with orcs. Finally, the Long War swag is here. LongWarSwag.com, the official home of Long War merchandise. We've got a range of merchandise exclusive to the Long War brand, Next Level Painting, and Spikey Bits. Definitely log in today while supplies lasts. Veterans, I've got news for you. Get your best deals online at dicehead.com. Long War Vets, call or email for your best vet deals. That's dicehead.com. elricshobbies.com is your exclusive portal to upgrading your hobby. When you sign up at thelongwar.net, you gain an instant promotional discount good for 10% off at Elric's Hobbies. elricshobbies.com.
Dear veterans, quickly, make your way to thelongwar.net and find out how to reap your hard-earned spoils of this long war. For our allies at secretweaponsminiatures.com have rewarded us all with an extra 10% discount on all Secret Weapon Miniatures merchandise. So stock up, dear veterans, and enjoy.
And we're back. Let's break it down. Kicking it off to Juice.
How to win with orcs. There's a lot to it. This book is amazing. We have went over it pretty extensively, looking at what cool combos exist now and what combos have always existed and are potentially just even, that much better. So if you were running 90 boys and, 90 storm boys, that list is 100 times better now than what it was, last week. There's a couple of units that we want to go over and talk about is some things considered a trap, AKA the shooting element. It seems like to be the rave, what's going on in the interwebs right now, because a lot of the cultures and a lot of the stratagems are based around shooting, and I don't know, I can't speak for the rest of the guys. I feel like, Rob, we've talked about it a little bit, but I feel like it is a trap. Mm-hmm. I believe that there is a place, even though it's expensive, depending on what the rest of your army looks like, to have an investment. But if you're going to do it, you got to go all in, on the Luda aspect, right? On a 15-man unit of Ludas, where you will you'll mob up turn one an additional 10 models. And then now your Death Blossom attacks that you're going to do, the shooting twice, the exploding sixes, move to exploding fives, things like this are going to be on the forefront on a 25-man unit versus a 15, right? But in my opinion, I don't really like any of that shooting. I'm going to sprinkle in one unit and then pass it off of what I think is one of the sickest combos. And we're actually going to do on camera live this Sunday at 6:00 is the the tank busters, not bomb squigs, tank busters specifically inside of a truck. So the reason why I like a truck instead of a battle wagon is just because it's a cheap entry. I need my transport to be cheap because I am spending points in the tank buses, and I want to make sure there's plenty of points left over for my storm boys. So I love the fact that it's a Bad Moon truck for 2 CP. I teleport it. It is a vehicle, so I can 3d6 charge, power slide once I get there, and do D3 mortal wounds to anybody around me, that I make base contact with, and then use the plank stratagem to swing with everybody inside. So, and the layered threat is what I love about this unit, because when they come in via the teleporter, they get to shoot. So one rules debate that I'd love to have with you guys right now is something we talked about in the chat, in the webcast. talking about, I just automatically assumed, right? Just because I can shoot, it's the shooting phase. I'm on the table, kind of, I guess. Can I use a stratagem on the unit that's inside of a transport? At first, I just assumed that you could, but Sean is a genius, right? And has shed a little bit of a different light. Sean?
Yeah, the main rulebook says that units embarked in transports can't be affected by any rules while they're embarked, unless the rule says they specifically can be affected by it. So that's where the open-topped rule on a vehicle comes into play and allows them to shoot. But it creates a gray area where can they be affected by stratagems? And in past events and past structures, they've been prevented to prevent certain things like poxwalkers getting their strat passed on them while they're in a building and then walking out and creating more poxwalkers, that kind of thing. So there's precedent for no, but I think there's intention for maybe yes with Orks. So we'll have to see what GW can come out and say, but they're probably going to need to be harassed by a little bit of email or Facebook in order to give us an answer quickly.
Yeah, and so like that's one of my units right now that is a standout for me, is because it's a solid point investment, right? But this unit gets to come in for 2 CP, do its thug thizzle with shooting, then charge, do mortal wounds to multiple different units, and then swing. So like it's not just I come in and shoot and I sit there. This combo is built on doing multiple different levels. I love stuff like that. So that's kind of like a shining unit right now for me.
So winning with Orks, you've got a few units you guys like, and you guys did some unit spotlights on this. This is a unit obviously like. You said you like boys. You said you like storm boys, which are already stables of Orks. So it seems to me like winning with Orks still going to be on the backbone of 150 models. But people always played 150 models last week, and people did okay with them. I've seen a lot of people play, have a winning record at tournaments with Orks, running 30 storm boys, 30 boys. What now about having 30 storm boys and 30 boys, when factoring in cultures and stratagems and characters? What do you like specifically about them? What kind of configuration? What kind of clans? How many clans are in your army? You know what I'm saying, Sean?
I think the backbone is Evil Sons, just because the interaction between their new charge rules, being able to reroll one or both dice, along with +1 to charge and all that extra speed, it makes teleporting and making those charges super easy. It means those Storm Boys can fly up the board even faster, get into combat, start wrecking things. All the movement based on Evil Sons is great. And then you're still the damage potential of hordes, tons of dice, bonuses to hit with WA banners. And I think personally, I would supplement that with some more boys that are snakebite, because the one thing I think Orks will struggle with still is anti-vehicle, anti-Primarch, anti-Knight, and the snakebite stratagem for +1 to wound against a tough wound 10 or more model is, I think, super valuable to supplement the anti-horde capabilities.
I love that you like that one, because when we talked about it in the podcast initially, we hated the fuck out of that stratagem. 3 CPs for a fail rate limited clause Veteran of the Long War, right? Where it's, yes, the whole army can interact, but it's only against certain types of units, right? So they give you a condition, they like a limited condition, 10 or more wounds, but they supplement that by saying, well, everyone benefits from it for the one stratagem. To me, that was enough to sort of undo the limit. Because it's not like you can roll up to a unit of fucking 30 other Orks and utilize it, because it's a model with 10 or more. So when they hit us with the 3 CPs, that made me sad. I strongly think it should be 2 CPs, but then also maybe the writing's on the wall for stratagems like Veteran of the Long War. Because we, as you and I have discussed in tactics videos ourselves, it's secretly the best stratagem in the game.
Yeah.
+1 to wound is the strongest shit there is.
Yeah. And you can see that a lot in the Orc Codex. There's a bunch of strats that are really strong, but they also have caveats. Like their Tide of Traders endless green tide strat has caveats. You have to be below half. You can't just do it whenever. That kind of thing.
Yeah, restriction on where you can come in.
The only strat that they have that it's super busted and has no caveats is their fight again strat, which is the most powerful fight again strat. Similar to Knights. I believe Knights have the same one, but
yeah, it's just like Knights, yeah.
But the difference is that Orcs could be a 30, 40 man blob, which is 120, 160 attacks versus a Knight that ultimately
they can hit, and they can hit on 2s, and they can fight again. And if they're snake bites and you're trying to go after Knight, you're wounding on 5s instead of 6s.
Yeah,
pretty good.
I think it's not to be lost, right, on what Sean was saying of like swing against strat. It's so easy to just say that phrase because we roll it off our tongues because just about every army has that. But like, no, you weren't listening. The swing against strat means immediately. The verb, it says after the unit has swung. Now,
well, it says the next time you choose to fight, which is basically immediately in almost any situation.
Yeah, shy of being interrupted if you've charged with more than one unit and things like that. So like there's like 1 or 2 ways to get out of it. But in all reality, if you are only charging 30 Storm Boys, if you're only charging 30 boys, they can't really stop you, right? Shy of Vect. So it is so powerful. The reason why 30 Storm Boys are better now than they were yesterday is because when they hit turn 1, it's like having 60 Storm Boys. If you got down with Thraka before because he was your dude, now there's 2 of them, right? Like instantly. It's not even like, I hope I wade through the storm. Well, swing against strat on 30 Storm Boys sucked because my guardsman killed 11 of you. And now when you swing again, you're only at 19. So immediately getting that is insanely powerful. If Zangors had that, it would actually be
Zangors need like a fucking small notebook amount of psychic powers to go off to keep them alive for the second fight in some situations. So I like that. So it seems like you're saying winning with Orcs is using an amazing stratagem, sprinkling snake bites for another amazing +1 to wound stratagem, and filling the battlefield up with boys and Storm Boys, some combination of which are going to be teleporting, which is one of the coolest stratagems that Orcs got. The other maybe deployment. What about Gretchen's? What about Gretchen's shield walling? That seems to be really powerful to keep those Storm Boys that you might deploy alive.
Yeah, I think you're going to, most every Orc list will get some combination of triple battalion, and you're going to fill a bunch of those slots with some Gretchen, no matter what you do.
Yeah, I think that might be, I'm with you on that. I think that's the number one difference between a list now and before is every Orc list will have 40 to 70 Gretchen. Like, it's pretty much tough for me to do anything less than a triple battalion because I want to take advantage of all these cool stratagems.
Basically every list I make, yeah.
Yeah, so like, go ahead and use your 3 units of boys and then 6 units of Gretchen, right? Or 2 units of boys and 7 units of Gretchen.
Yeah, like literally that's it. I have 90 boys. Oh, and it's all triple battalion, but 90 boys and the rest are Gretchens to make the battalions. Like that's literally, and I might have a couple of Gretchen squads that are like 20 instead of 10. Just because I'm just like, I want this one Gretchen squad to be a Blade of Wounds for this one Storm Boy squad. But outside of that, they're all little 10-man squads for me.
Yeah, and just a quick rundown. We're actually going to put it on the Patreon page, and we're going to go in detail on the Facebook group on Thursday. But one of the lists that we immediately came to within the first hour of having the book is double War Trike, 3 Weird Boys, walking War Boss, 90 boys, a Wall Banner, 90 Storm Boys, 60 Gretchen. Like,
which is awesome. We're thinking the same way. Every list I make has 3 Word Boys because, god damn it, they got some cool psychic powers now, and obviously the jump and super smites but of course the Fist of Gork is solid. But it's funny because I immediately, because there's another unit we had to talk about. Remember, I broke it to you guys in the webcast. Is the Index Abuse Orc Smash Captain. the orc, because now they're all foot orcs in the codex, foot bosses, but in index they can still take a bike, and they still can be clan. They can't be speed freak, but they can be evil sons. And now they're 99 points with a power claw, with the relic power claw that doesn't have minuses to hit and lets you reroll wounds.
Thraka-claw is what it's called.
Thraka-claw. And then the warlord trait of +1 damage for this guy. This dude is 99 points with a flat 4 damage power claw that has no minuses to hit and rerolls all wounds and can immediately fight twice or fight in death.
As long as the index options are still available and you don't feel any type of way about them, that's your dude.
That is your dude. until otherwise specified, that is your dude.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is you can make another one just like him. On
foot. He does all that on foot. He can teleport right in and still get the 8-inch charge, man. It's literally, there's a way, like when they take that away from you, you can still do it. It's just different.
And also, like, we looked at it and talked about it. I think Rob let us know that we were exactly to the point. We said that the War Trike should be in about 120 points and be like a Demon Prince. And I'll be damned if he's not 120 points and he is a badass Demon Prince. Right? So I like the fact he comes with auto rerolls to wound. He comes with all the speed underneath the sun. It moves base 16 inches.
And once per game, he can advance 6 inches.
Yeah, and then he advances and charges because he's a war boss. This dude is no joke. Now, if he only had the fly keyword, we'd be at a different level. But
well, he's a demon. Yes, he's a demon prince, but the demon prince is 180.
This dude's $120.
That's why it's $120. So like there's a 40-point discrepancy. He moves as fast, but he can't jump over things. Got it. That's fair. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and give me the stratagems that they have access to, meaning the orcs, versus a demon prince would with their stratagems. So like the orcs or a demon prince, Kenny, if I'm not mistaken, like the shy of a psychic ability, we're not saying those. I'm just talking about strats right now.
Demon princes are very limited with their stratagems. Limited,
right? Like vets or something. Like I don't know.
I don't even get that. No, they're like it's infantry only. They're very but the thing is, it's their thing is they got psychic powers, right? Yeah. That's 8 wounds of psychic powers and they can jump. That's what they do. But no, these units sound amazing. I do want to keep it as tight as possible with like the vision is like, so you just talked about a bunch of amazing fucking units. Like we know Weird Boys are good because of the second powers. We know that there's some index exploit. We know that Boys and Storm Boys and Gretchen are fucking amazing. What happened to all the other stuff people used to play? What happened to the Met guns? The tractor guns everybody had a humongous erection for? What's up there?
Sean?
I think the mech guns are still solid. They went up in damage to D6, which is nice, but they also went up in points. And their rules abuse interactions went away, so they're not quite as broken as they were. I don't think they're quite as list-centric. And while certain people think that you can use cultures on them, I'm dead set that they're fully Gretchen units. You won't get cultures. You won't get those benefits. And if people need the GW to say it, GW will quickly say, no, they're Gretchen. So
yeah, it's not even close. Like, I mean, it's a stretch. I've played some armies that some rules come out and I'm like, yeah, I could interpret it like this. And I'm kind of, smirking, but no, it's not, I'm not a tractor cannon guy.
We did the math on it earlier in tactics class. It's going to take you at least 8 tractor cannons to math to just like know that that average math kills like an 11 wound flyer.
Yeah, right? and just to kind of do it real quick on a rudimentary level of if your army has a single tractor cannon in it, right? And I believe that the reason why they're kind of as a hot topic is because they're 47 points. So like I can kind of see I'll sprinkle some in, right? Because the custom mega cannon that people were taking before obviously got a price increase. With the new book. But so the tractor cannon is one shot that automatically hits -2 D6 damage. And if you're shooting at something with a fly keyword, it rolls 2 D6 and pick the highest. It's not a terrible. I throw in Biovores when they were cheaper, for around that 40-point cost, right? Like I would throw in a Biovore or two. Like, so sure, there's a lot of things with fly right now that automatically hit Wave Serpents. I can see that's a number one guy. There's Shield Captains, or excuse me, the Praetors from Custodes. So I can see having it, but 15 of them, 8 of them, that's too much. Too much.
No, they might be something where you sprinkle in a brigade of orcs and get a couple key units.
I like that.
And get some more command points. Because 150 points, you tell me you get 3 tractor cannons, and they're object of opportunity shooting units. They can sit on some back objectives.
Yeah.
The rest of the orc army pressures. You can throw a cheap brigade together, I think, with orcs. And you might not need it, but orcs might end up being similar to Eldar, where I think you can operate at 80% efficiency, still win a lot of games, and take 20% of units that are more just for fun. Because that's how I treat Eldar. You only need 80% of a tight Eldar army, maybe less depending on player skill.
So it's so great to hear you say that, right? Because it's one of those things that we we'll talk about in the reverse end. It's like, I'm playing NIDS. I literally can't operate because I'm playing at such a deficit, right? Like, whenever I'm playing Guard at Night, there's so many built-in redundancies. I can actually just take a 300-point unit. So I like the fact that you bring that up compared to these guys, because I think you're right. They have enough ways to dig themselves out of a hole. If it's not just with their sheer weight of bodies, but it's because of how tight their cultures and stratagems are.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm 100%. Yeah, I was a big Mech Gun fan for a little bit until we just started kind of mathing out efficiency. Like Storm Boys seem to be the solution to everything. When it comes, like everything that a tractor cannon does, everything that like Ludas do, like to come all the way full circle to like how to lose with orcs. Yep. Don't fall into the shooting trap on it. Like, yeah. Don't do it, because Storm Boys is going to be the answer, a more efficient, more certain answer in more situations with more flexibility and more toolbox application in every situation than these other units, these tractor cannons, these Ludas and everything else. Like they're fucking amazing.
So I just want to throw it out there too. Like if you're worried about killing an Eldar flyer, what is it actually doing to you? Right? Like if you're telling me, oh, but if I play up against the, cause it is, kind of popular right now, 5 or 6 Eldar flyers, what is that army actually killing? I don't think it can bear down and kill a.
They can. I mean, they can. I've played against them 3 times now in ITC tournaments. Like they can focus fire and take out some dudes for sure. Cause they're using an eclectic collection of flyers across different codexes that have different abilities. But at the end of the day,
if I'm not mistaken, one of the main reasons I'm sorry, I can't mean to cut you off, but like one of the main reasons that it does pick up stuff like that is because things like the Void Wave and Bomber and the grenades and stuff, or the bombs that it drops over, right? Like that's one way that they
but ultimately, like if you like, it's a good enough list that people are doing really well at ITC with it. But here's the thing: you're not going to kill them with tractor cannons. Like they cleaned up the lightning reflexes situation, so you don't get to just say I'm shooting all these flyers. Pick the one that's going to trigger lightning reflexes. You're going to completely waste an entire unit of tractor cannons. Not tractor cannons, sorry. Ludas and other things. Tractor cannons automatically hit, obviously. So like, basically, that's where like things like Ludas and other things is like it's always going to be the worst roll possible. So if you have something that used to hit on a 4, it's never going to be actually a 4, right? And then if you have like DACA jets, people are like, oh, DACA jets are pretty good. I was like, I put them in my top 4, but DACA jets are never going to be hitting the way they want to be hitting. But at the end of the day, orcs have enough bodies, like I think is what you were going to say, is that you shouldn't be worried about 6 Eldar flyers. And guess what? Guess what? 30 Storm Boys are really good at killing.
Eldar flyers.
Everything.
Eldar flyers. Toughness 6 flyers with barely more than 10 wounds. Feel like, maybe you just take the Storm Boys, because then what happens when you play somebody without Eldar flyers? You still have Storm Boys.
Yeah, and with a war boss, because they are infantry, so the war trike won't help them advance and charge, but just a simple war boss in your list, they advance and charge with charging and advance +1 from Evil Sons. They're screaming up the board.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't think people have fully grasped how fast Evil Sun's Storm Boys are with the War Boss near them. Like, it's all fun and games because we've all played against that guy that in our local meta who's had Orks for the last umpteen years, and we've seen the progression. And that guy is not, those Storm Boys from 2 weeks ago and the last couple of years are not the same as what you have now. They are, without a doubt, hitting you turn one. You know,
yeah, and there's no reason an Orc army is not dropping 120 bodies on your doorstep turn one.
Yeah,
with the jumping a unit of boys and flying 3 units of Storm Boys up. That's if you're not prepared to handle 120 T4 because they're not cultists, they're not T3, it's T4.
They're not witches. Yeah,
there's a big change there.
Yeah, and again, it's so powerful because I even outlined, one of the stratagems that I do, and I actually did at Nova this year, is you just kind of link arms. You say you shall not pass, you link arms, you hold the line, take your casualties, and then go to repel. That is so much harder when everything that Sean just outlined, which was the 90 Storm Boys and the boys to jump in. So it's 120, but you really got hit with 150 models because 30 of them swung again. Right? Like it's powerful as shit.
Soon to be sold out at Games Workshop, Storm Boys. You heard it here first.
Every boy. Sorry.
All the boys.
Borrow Hammer is going to be at an all-time high.
I have a quick question. What's the sustained fire for these looters everyone's got a boner for do?
150 shots, basically.
What is its like wording? Is like auto-modified 5s generate more hits?
Yeah, you're not going to take. Yeah. I was going to say that because you were going on another path, but like the concept still hangs true. Is the unmodified 5 or 6s automatically explode?
Well, but they don't hit. 5s don't hit.
War Daka is until the end of the phase, the unit's Daka ability triggers on unmodified hit rolls of 5 or 6.
So 5 still don't hit, right? So 6. So like you're saying, you're getting more shots that still hit on 6s.
No, 5s
against flyers.
Against flyers, yeah.
Oh, against flyers.
Yeah, 5s don't hit. Like you're not hitting on 5s. You're hitting on 6s.
Context.
So like you get a bunch of 5s in there that still need to convert on 6s.
Yes.
Like it's like. It's good. Like I think we broke it down pretty good in the webcast. 425 point Ludus squad with 60 points in Gretchen's protecting it, with a CP to keep them protected, with a CP to mob up, with 2 CPs to shoot twice and another CP to do sustained fire, kills an Eldar flyer. Yes, you're correct. 400 and almost 500 points and 4 CPs. A turn to continue to do that.
Yeah, just to get it off in the first turn is 6 CP, and then 3 CP every turn after that. But no, again, if you have your Ludas, don't get discouraged because you're going to play them, and they're good, and some games they're going to come in so clutch for you, and some games or some turns they're not. I literally play a 600 point Castellan.
But I think the new Deca rule makes these shooter units a little bit better than they were before. Because now you always hit on 6s. So now you can hide those looters behind a wall, walk out turn 1 and shoot, and you're still not hitting really any worse than you were before. But I don't think a strategy based on 425 points of them works. But 3 units of 5, 3 units of 8 to supplement your shooting, that's not terrible because you can hide now and advance and then shoot because you're never going to shoot worse. So you don't have to care about all these -1s to hit or -2 to hits. It's a 6 to you anyway.
Yeah. So, point. Yeah, they're hitting on 6s. They're going to trigger on 5. They're going to get extra shots on 5s and 6s. That's still hit on 6s. And a lot of the math people are doing are based on rolling 3 shots. My only problem with Ludas is that they have a rule that has remained unchanged through 3 editions. D3 shots.
If you're doing math,
that's ridiculous.
If you're doing D3 shot math and you're automatically taking 3 and not just averaging 2, you're probably doing it wrong. Like I don't even when somebody says D3, I just think to myself 2. That's the average.
Yeah, and being a guy who plays a lot of obliterators, I think of if you're going to shoot the unit more than once, one of those times is going to be 3. One of those times is going to be 2. I mean, a 1. It's an average of 2, correct? But averages don't mean fucking shit when you need to roll that 2 right now and you rolled a 1. They mean nothing, even though you did your math at an average of 2. So is the luck with you right now when you need them to not roll a 1 and then burn a CP and not roll a fucking another 1 or 2? Or not. I think the big mistake there was they updated the autocannon because they've always shot an autocannon profile. So now autocannons are -1/2 damage. So they upgraded that part of their profile, but they didn't upgrade this ridiculous random amount of shots, which to me in 8th edition, we need more shots because things have more wounds. And especially when your fucking guys are pretty much always hitting on 6s. I'd like there to be a little, especially if I'm paying 425 points. Just give me the average. Because I'm just going to take 250 points of Storm Boys that are going to fucking kill Eldar Flyer the same way. Until then.
Yeah, exactly. Having so many points tied up in something when considering how good the rest of this book is, I think the Ludas and something like the Morkanaut and Gorkanaut are going to fall into the exact same trap. They're cool as shit, but I just can't justify over 300 points for them. Lastly, before we get out of here, one unit that I can, and we're going to elaborate more on later on the week and over the Battle Bro at Patreon, is a Death Dread. 450 points for a unit of 3 gets you a lot of usefulness considering they are a unit. For 2 CP, you can deep strike the entire unit. And then once they hit the board from the teleporter, you can break them off right then. And they're all evil sons, so they can make 9-inch charges, and they're all vehicles, so one of them can make a 3d6-inch charge. So I think something like that is a whole lot more viable than some of these other things if you're going to want to have a point sink.
Yeah, and I think that's like one of those fun Orky units that people love the model, that it's right there where I think it is good.
It's got a battlefield role, right?
It's got a battlefield role. It's a tough unit. Is it outclassed by the same amount of points of just regular boys? Probably, but you're not a buster for taking it. Like it's not going to totally bust up your list. Like you can fill that into your army and have some fun.
Which makes me happy to see units like that because the Orc Death Dread is definitely a sick ass fucking kit. And
yeah, it's a sick kit.
Wily as fuck looking. And so it's good to know that the old Dread Bash can be played again.
The Killicans suffer from the fact that they're pure Gretchen units, so they don't get Coulters, they don't get Strats. Because we went down that rabbit hole and we're like, this is so cool. And then we're like,
You're like, they hit on 5s. I can work with that. I can work with that. No, I can't.
Oh, I was so prepared. We both were like, hit on 5s. I don't care. They're 45 points. You know, they shoot on 4s. I'm like, whatever. Oh, they have no cultures. They have no. They're dead to me.
Dead to me.
Let's just play an index. You're basically just playing index Killicans. Those did not win anything. People were barely going, barely not getting a losing record at tournaments with 90 Storm Boys and 90 boys before. Not on Matt Killicans. It's brutal. But I think that's cool. So summarize it. Winning with Orks. On the backbones of Storm Boys, Boys, and Gretchen. 80% efficiency, sprinkle in fun shit on top of that as long as you hit those numbers, right? Losing with Orks, falling for the traps, aka not hitting those numbers and going after nothing but shooting elements and other gimmicks. So not a true toolkit codex, still kind of one-dimensional, you would say, but powerful.
Yeah, that they definitely ramped up the power. Their stratagem list is basically you go through every codex and say, what's the best stratagem in this codex? Orcs got it.
Yeah. Definitely maybe a precursor to some updates in Chapter Approved 18 for more universal stratagems available to factions.
I like it. So, guys, if you want to see these Orcs in action live, Long War Battle Report, with the Battle Brothers themselves, Sean and Juice. Sean might not be on this one in a capacity. He might make an appearance on casting. I'm not sure. But this Sunday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, live on the same platforms you watch everything we do on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. The new Orks will be out on the table, played by Juice. We're going to have possibly Austin there, boots on the ground, Dan, and a player to fight these Orks to be announced. So we'll put the money where the mouth is on some of these units.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I think we did it, guys. Good breakdowns, good points. We'll be back next week to tell you GW new water pot worth $8 or not. I know that's what this episode was really
that's
about.
It. That's the one.
Riveting. The ribbing. Is the ribbing worth it? Find out next week here on the Long War. All right, everybody. So make sure you head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports, obviously live and recorded. Become a veteran of the Long War today.